arm spelling is one of the key components of the brain-friendly reading program. It allows children to develop phonemic awareness, which is the ability to hear and manipulate sounds and words. It also develops the letter-sound correspondence, which is another foundational skill for reading. Today, we're going to talk about ways that you can incorporate extra arm spelling in the classroom and different activities you can try to increase student engagement and interest. In this infographic titled The House of Structured Literacy, you can see that oral blending and segmenting sounds starts developing in children from birth to about 4 or 5 years old before they are even introduced to letters and connecting sounds to them. It is the ear training that needs to develop before introducing letter sounds. In the brain-friendly reading program, oral arm spelling is a regularly practiced skill that is done while children are developing the sound-symbol connection. Arm spelling is a highly effective tool that children can use for both reading and spelling. It helps students break apart the sounds and words for reading, decoding, and put together sounds and words for spelling, which is encoding. When we arm spell a one-syllable word, we break it into a beginning, middle, and ending sound. The beginning sound is on the shoulder. The middle sound is on the elbow, and the ending sound is on the wrist. So the word cup would be k, p. The beginning sound is k, the middle sound is and the ending sound is p. For two-syllable words, we break the word into 2 syllables and we arm spell 1 syllable at a time. So if the word was cupcake, we would pound the syllables, cupcake, and then take each syllable to arm spell. First syllable, cup, k, p, cup. Second syllable, cake, k, a, k, cake, cupcake. So one good way to get extra arm spelling practice is during transitional times. So for example, if you're transitioning to the next subject or activity, you can ask students to take out materials they need for that next instructional period. All right, class, take out your n, o, t, b, k. Or maybe they're lining up to go to gym or music, or they're coming to a carpet area for an activity. You can have them line up if you are wearing green, or line up if your birthday is in October. Come to the carpet if you are wearing jeans. So arm spelling, breaking up those sounds in the words and seeing if the children are able to figure out what word you are segmenting. I Spy is another fun game that you can play at any time of the day. And it's similar to the secret decoder game, which is played with kindergartners and younger children. And the secret decoder game is where you place objects in front of the child and you arm spell one of the objects and the child picks the object that you arm spelled. So this version, I Spy, can be played while you're waiting in line or you're on a bathroom break. So you can play I Spy by saying, I see a plant, or I spy a plant. And the teacher can lead, and when a student is able to figure out the answer, they can lead the next one. For younger students, you can play with 1-syllable words, and for older students that have had lots of practice in breaking words into sounds, they can do 2- and 3-syllable words. You can also ask a question for students to answer, and their answer they would have to arm spell. So for example, what is for lunch? And a student would raise their hand and they would have to arm spell that answer. P, E, T, A. What is the weather like outside? And a student would have to raise their hand and they would arm spell the answer. S, A, N, E. Or they might arm spell it sun, E. It doesn't matter how students choose to break up a two-syllable word like sunny, as long as they are segmenting the sounds. Now, both of these words on this slide have double letters that we only hear once. So it's not a typo. The words are broken into the sounds that we hear orally. So as students progress through the program, they will learn the doubling rules for spelling these words correctly. This activity has an added challenge for older students. Students come up with their own questions to ask others that have a one-word answer, and peers can arm spell the answer. So you can build in cross-curricular learning by asking questions that are related to topics in science, social studies, math, vocabulary, etc. So for example, what shape has 4 equal sides and 4 right angles? And the answer is square. Science question, what part of a plant transports water and minerals from the roots to the leaves? And the students would have to think about that answer. What is that word? So they have to think about the word, and then they have to arm spell it. Oh, that's right. That is the stem. So those are just some ideas for engaging your students in extra arm spelling practice, but I'm sure there are many other ideas that you have that you can incorporate this wonderful foundational skill that will help your children be able to segment sounds and words, both for reading and for spelling.